is Amanda Rose, your Director of Media from Archer Travel Service, and I'm so excited to welcome Kylie Wap from Anzcro. She is the National Account Manager. Is that correct?
Perfect, thank you.
Yay! We're so happy to have you. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, no, it's good to be on. And thank you so much for everyone joining this morning too. I know how busy we all are at the moment, so I really appreciate the time.
Awesome. We appreciate your time too. And just before we get started, I want to let everyone know if you have any questions, please put those in chat like always. And this will be recorded, so if you'd like to rewatch this, you can find it right here in the videos tab of this channel. And without further ado, Kylie, I'll go ahead and let you get started. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Well, great. And as I said, thanks for joining this morning. So I'm Kylie from Anzcro. I thought today it'd be really good to touch on who we are, what it is that we do, hopefully give you some really useful tools to make selling our destinations easier, and also some helpful tips for when you're consulting. I'll touch on some of the current specials, and then of course how you can actually make the quotes or do the bookings with us. So first, just introducing Anzcro. Anzcro is the Australia New Zealand Central Reservations Office. And as our name would suggest, we are a destination specialist for Australia and New Zealand. Anzcro itself is turning 30 in Australia, but our actual brand is much older than that. We're owned by the Guthrie family of Christchurch. They've been in the industry since 1947, and today it's their third generation, Nick Guthrie, who's our current CEO and Managing Director. So we've been involved selling New Zealand holidays for a very long time. One of the most really important things about our company is our people. My team hates it when I put their pictures up, but I think it's really nice to know who you're actually speaking to and understand a little bit about what it is that they do. So our most important people are our reservations team. They are all senior consultants with a minimum of 10 plus years in the industry. Most would be, 15, 20, 25 years plus. And they are all destination specialists for New Zealand or Australia. So if you've got clients that want something a little bit different, it's a destination maybe you don't know as well, the people at the other end of the phone or at the other end of that email, they know these destinations inside out, and they'll be able to give you really good advice and recommendations. So really use that team to get the best quote for your client. They are backed up by probably the most experienced product team in the industry. So our New Zealand product managers have all been with Anzcro for 20 plus years. Our Australian product manager, Tara, she's the newbie in the group. She's only been with us for 10 years. So we've absolutely got those experts at our office that are going to be able to assist you. So we're really proud that we have one of the largest inventory of Australian and New Zealand product in the market. We work with over 5,000 suppliers and have 40,000 individual items for New Zealand and Australia in our product range. The product range is really vast. So we cover accommodation for both the destinations, and that covers, your hotels from 3.5 through to 5-star boutique luxury. It includes motels, apartments, B&Bs, luxury lodges, eco stays, pure pods, you name it, and we will do that type of accommodation in New Zealand and Australia. We do ski holidays for New Zealand. So we are the largest inbound operator for New Zealand ski holidays. We do the transportation. So if you need rental cars or motorhome within Australia or New Zealand, we've got options for that as well. We do the day tours and excursions. We do multi-day tours. For those that maybe don't want to join a coach tour but don't want to drive a car, we also have the national network of coaches in New Zealand, which is intercity coaches. So we sell them as well. In New Zealand, we also do cruise shore excursions. And in both destinations, we do rail journeys and we do hikes and everything like that. So there is a huge amount of product, and all of that is accessible to you. As part of Australia, that also covers Norfolk Island and Lord Howe Island, and we're also moving into the South Pacific as well, so Fiji, Cook Islands, Tahiti. So some of the tools to help make seller destinations easy for you, probably one of our biggest ones are our brochure. It is amazing. The New Zealand book has been around forever. It's known as the Bible for New Zealand holidays. This is available at TIFFs if you need a physical copy, or you can download a digital version from our website. This brochure is full of lots of really useful tools for selling New Zealand, from some of the suggested itineraries, which tend to be the classics that we find people do year after year, through to in-depth regional information. So if you're not really sure about the destination, or maybe your client isn't, the brochure is a really great starting point. It gives them a feel of what's on offer in each of the destinations. And of course, we're happy to add in and give extra recommendations as well. On our website, we also have our current deals page. So we work with a lot of regional areas in New Zealand and Australia, and we'll put together campaigns to really spotlight those destinations. And all of those will be on the deals page. All of them come with itineraries and social media tiles. So if you're doing your marketing and you want something to promote, go on there. There's lots of options for you. Some of our current campaigns are Discover the Bay of Plenty, which I'll talk about in a moment. We've got lots of Australian backyard bargains. Really popular are the iconic rail journeys. And then we've got some packages in there for Norfolk and Lord Howe too. So our current campaign is with Discover the Bay of Plenty. I am a North Islander, so I am always very passionate about trying to encourage people to spend more time in the North Island, particularly if you've got children. I think it's a great destination. The South Island is very scenic, but there's a lot of driving. And if you're a family traveling, your child's not looking out the door thinking, wow, that mountain's beautiful. They're saying, how long till I get to Wi-Fi? So I always encourage families to go to the North Island. A lot less driving, but also there's lots of activities to really engage children. We find when people are quoting the North Island holidays, often they'll start in Auckland and then they'll go straight down to Rotorua. And what we're trying to encourage with this campaign is actually to go a little bit coastal before you go back to Rotorua. And the Bay of Plenty fits really nicely into that North Island itinerary. It's 3 hours from Auckland, and then just under an hour and a half to Rotorua. So it's a really nice fit. This has 125 k's of beautiful coastline, and what we call the claims to fame. So they do have New Zealand's best beaches. Ohope Beach was just announced top beach in New Zealand. It is also known as the Kiwi capital of the world. So Whakatane in the southern Plenty, they have had a huge conservation effort to really encourage the Kiwi to flourish in that area, and then also a really great foodie scene. So we do lots of accommodation options in this area, and we also do some really great tours as well. So just a couple of my favorites that I've put up there is we do a fantastic kayak tour through a glowworm canyon. So that's a really amazing experience and a nice way to see the glowworms if you don't want to detour to Waitomo. We've also got some fantastic journeys out in the ocean. So we do Bay Explorer, and it's absolutely fantastic, particularly over summer. We've got large pods of dolphins, which your clients can see, and then also orcas, whales, sea turtles, and seals as well. We can do the day trips to Murahura Island, and that is an eco sanctuary, home to lots of native bird life, including the little brown kiwi. And then a newish product for us is Riverbug. This is super fun for families and for adults, and we've got different options on the rivers depending if it's mild to wild. So for the families with young children, they go on one river. For those wanting a little bit more excitement, they go on a different river. So lots of really cool activities to do in this region. To make selling the destination a little bit easier, if you're trying to work out how to fit in a 3-night stay into that South Drive, we have put together some packages for you, and they are on the deals page on the website. So there's a fantastic 3-night coastal escape, and that's based in Whakatane in the southern end of that coastal area. Or we've got a 3-night kayak and culture package, which is based in Tauranga, which is at the northern end. We've also got a fantastic package for families as well, kind of taking in all those areas. So this is good maybe for families that want to do a week away during school holidays, in and out of Auckland and then to Tauranga and Whakatane. And of course, all of our packages are fully customizable. So one of the other really useful tools that we've got for you is Anzcro Connect. And this is what we call our self-service booking platform for travel agents. So for anyone that doesn't already have a login, I would recommend that after this webinar, you go onto our website and you register for Connect. This will give you 24/7 access to your quotes and bookings. So for those that feel really comfortable with the destination, maybe you've been selling it for a while and want to build their own itineraries, you can go into Connect and you can self-quote a full package for your clients. All of the products that we sell, so all 40,000, are accessible in Connect for you. So you can quote the accommodation, sightseeing, car hire excursions, the complete package. And what's really good is that you can actually quote and book those multiple products within the one booking. So you're not having to do individual bookings for each item that you want to do. With Connect, there's no minimum spend. So while we'd love you to book the whole package, if you just need a domestic car hire or just need an excursion, that's okay as well. Now, Connect will show you whether it's one of our dynamic pricing with live availability or whether it's a contracted rate and it is on request, and you can choose which rate you want to quote and book. Whether we do the quote or whether you do the quote, it will be exactly the same commission level for you. And even when we do the quote, you will still be able to access it on Connect. So I always say, like if you've got a 3-week itinerary, you're a bit unsure, let us do the itinerary for you. You can then log on to Connect and still access it. And if you need to make any amendments to that quote, you can do that if you want to. If you don't want to self-quote, it still has other really useful functions. So for instance, say you've done a booking, it's just converted. Maybe 5 of the properties had instant availability, but 2 were on request. You can log in real time and see what's happening on that booking. The other thing you can do is once your booking is paid in full, you can access early documentation as well. So we would normally send docs 3 weeks prior to travel. If you've had a client pay in full, 6 months before or something like that, you may want to get that documentation out to them a little bit earlier. So that's fully accessible. And then the other great thing you can do in Connect is you can also access our customizable pre-built holiday packages. So I mentioned before in our deals page that we had lots of different itineraries. All of those itineraries have a unique package code. And all of the itineraries in the brochure also have that same unique package code. And if you've had a client that's seen a particular special that you've advertised or they've had the brochure, they've said, oh, I really want that itinerary, you can really quickly go into Connect and quote that package within about 30 seconds without having to call through or build that package from scratch. So it's really easy to do that. I mean, the first step is just logging into Connect. Then step 2, you come up to your dashboard and you just go up to new itinerary. You click on that, and then step 3, it'll ask for your client's overall journey dates and the number of travellers. Now for this, put the date that they want to, leave Australia and come back, because sometimes with the packages, they might want to do own arrangements for a couple of nights before. Step 4, you come up to the product categories. Now, for anyone that's been on Connect and maybe you've quoted some accommodation, you're used to these first 4 steps anyway. But to quote the package, you just go to the bottom middle tab, which says packages, click on that, and then you just need to put in those package details. You need to pop in the start date of that package, the start destination, and then the unique package code that is on that itinerary or is on that flyer. And then you go search. And then it goes through the system and it recognizes that particular package. It'll bring it up and you just need to click on Add to Itinerary, which is step 6. When it adds it to the itinerary, it's like any quote, it will download and itemize every single inclusion of that package. It will tell you if it's available or if it's on request. If it's something that's on request, then if you want to, you can switch that out for another property that's available. And because all of our package itemize every inclusion, they are fully customizable. So if you want to upgrade a car, that's really easy to do. If you want to change the accommodation, you can do that then and there. If you want to take out some of the sightseeing or add in sightseeing, you can do that as well. So it's really quick and easy to do. Now, if you are doing your own quotes and Connect, or when you're consulting with the agents, just a couple of things to keep in mind about some of those products that we're selling. So just first with the rental car hires, in New Zealand, we've got two different options. We've got the newer model vehicles, and then we've got some older model vehicles. So the newer model vehicles tend to have the low Ks, usually, under 2 years of age, and would be on airport pickup. The older model vehicles tend to have higher Ks. They'll usually be a little bit older. And in the case of Go Rentals, it is an off depot airport, so a transfer is required. And they tend to keep more standard office hours rather than meeting all the flights like the newer model vehicles tend to. In Connect, you'll see for most of the car companies that there'll be two options, a standard or an inclusive option. The inclusive option simply means it's got a reduced excess or a nil excess. Now, often with companies, particularly I've noticed with budget, there is usually a minimal difference between the two. And by the time you take into account the airport pickup fee you'll pay on a standard hire, the inclusive rate usually ends up being more competitive for your client. So just keep an eye on that. The other thing to keep in mind when doing the quote too is around the size of the vehicle. We see a lot of quotes coming through online where they've quoted a small auto or a mid-size auto, and that's fine if you've got a client doing a city stay. But the reality is if you've got a client doing a 2 or 3 week drive around New Zealand, they really need to be in an SUV or up just for that comfort. And particularly if in their own personal life they drive a larger vehicle, they are not going to enjoy downgrading when they're on a 2 or 3 week driving holiday around New Zealand. So just keep that in mind. Now, some of the cars do go on the ferry. So our Budget, our Avis, our Easy Car, and our Go, they all go on the ferry. The other car companies, they change the vehicle over in Wellington and Picton. Now, Wellington Ferry Terminal, they are doing a big upgrade. So most of the car companies don't have a depot there now, and it involves returning the car to the downtown or the airport depot, depending on the time of day. So it can be a little bit more practical at the moment to have clients, the car companies that are going to go on the ferry with them. Now, we also do a lot of motorhomes in New Zealand, and you'll notice in the brochure, and we've got Maui, Brits, or Mighty. These are all part of THL, but I just want to quickly explain the differences between them. So Maui are their newer model vehicles, essentially. They drive them for a few years, they rebrand them, they become Brits. Drive them for a few more years, rebrand, and they become Mighty. So the main differences are around the age of the vehicle. For most of your clients, you would be going in really at that Brits or Maui level. Mighty is very much for that backpacker market or that really budget traveller. With the motorhome hires and Connect, please always quote the inclusive rate. So with the motorhomes, if you do a standard rate, the excess is New Zealand $7,500 plus GST, which is a debited bond. So that means when your client picked up the vehicle, they would physically charge their credit card for that amount. The full amount will come off their credit card. When they return the motorhome, provided there's no damage, they'll then return it based on the exchange rate of that particular day. And it may take, a week or 2 weeks to clear as well. But because they return it on the exchange rate, it also means if there's been any major fluctuations, your clients might get lucky and make some money. Where you'll hear about is when the exchange rate's gone the other way and you've actually lost a little bit on that bond. So what we find is that for clients that tend to do the standard rate, when they get to New Zealand, 9 out of 10 would then can take out that excess reduction. So we just recommend that you do it right at the start, and then it's fully commissionable for you. So one of the most popular components of our South Island itineraries is the TransAlpine train. And this is a train that runs from Christchurch to Greymouth and then return. We get a lot of clients that will do the train at the start, pick up the car in Greymouth and do their travel, or vice versa. Now, previous seasons, it was all one class, so everyone travelled together. This season, TransAlpine has released what they call their Scenic Plus dining experience. So this is a dedicated Scenic Plus carriage. They have fantastic large panoramic windows, beautiful seating. It includes meals and also a selection of wines, beers, and non-alcoholic drinks. And then they also have a private outdoor viewing carriage, which is exclusive for the Scenic Plus guests. Most of the other carriages all share the one. So it's a really lovely upgrade if you've got, maybe those, 4.5 star plus travelers. The other upgrade options we also have are with the Inter-Islander ferry as well. So for those clients that are doing a 2-island itinerary, predominantly they will be going across on the Inter-Islander ferry. And not many people are aware that there are some upgrade options available. So I just wanted to highlight particularly one of them today, and that's the Inter-Islander Premium Lounge. This is on all 3 of the Inter-Islanders ferries. This Premium Lounge is adults only with beautiful, comfortable chairs. They get free buffet meals. If they're on the morning sailing, it's breakfast and morning tea. If they're on afternoon sailing, it's lunch and afternoon tea, and it's absolutely fantastic. I've done this quite a bit. And then it also includes drinks as well, so beer, wine, and non-alcoholic. If you've got, again, clients traveling and they are that 4.5 star plus traveler, maybe it's couples traveling during the school holidays, this is definitely a worthwhile upgrade for them. And we also do specials throughout the season. If you've got clients looking at travelling to Queenstown this winter, we've just released some exclusive allocations with the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Queenstown. Fantastic downtown location, 5 minutes walk to the CBD. It includes what they call their free Express Start buffet breakfast, which is kind of a continental, and then they might have 1 or 2 hot items with them. We've got some really competitive rates there, and we've still got some availability over that winter ski period. And of course, we can do that complete winter package, so we can also add in, the lift passes, equipment hire, clothing hire, transfers, and lessons as well. Cool. And then one of my favourite places in New Zealand is Milford Sound. So for a lot of people, when they're travelling to New Zealand, they want to do Milford Sound, they will do it either as a day trip from Queenstown, or they're staying in Te Anau and doing it from Te Anau. But there is actually one option for clients that actually want to stay down in the destination itself and be a lot more immersed. And that is the beautiful Milford Sound Lodge. This is, as I said, great for clients that want to be a lot more immersed in the destination, that want to do a couple of nights down there. They are super close to where the boats go, so they can jump on that first boat in the morning, which tends to be a lot quieter. If they're wanting to do a little, some like little smaller walks down there, they've got that option because they're staying down there. And it's just a really beautiful remote location. So we've got some great chalets down there, the mountain or the river view. And I mean, you can see from that how fantastic that looks. And it is a really, really nice, upgrade or little touch point to put onto a client's itinerary. Even maybe for clients that are your 3.5, 4-star traveler, this is a real wow moment for them and reasonably affordable as well. Now, something I do want to touch on is post-COVID travel in New Zealand, because I think it is important to be having discussions with your clients before they travel, so that they're not surprised once they get to New Zealand. So New Zealand's open for travel, but there's definitely changes that have occurred. And one of the things I really want to touch on is the changing service levels. So I think it's really important to note that daily servicing is now not standard in New Zealand. So if you've got clients staying in 3- and 4-star accommodation, it's not standard. And that could be that maybe they just don't do it at all, or it could be it depends on the day and if they have enough housekeeping. But it's really important to know that. A lot of properties now, if your client wants extra towels or tea, coffee sachets, they call down to reception and then they will bring them up, but it's not standard. If you've got clients that you know have an expectation of these services, then really important that you book them in 4.5 and 5-star properties because they've tended to retain more of them. With not having those daily services, it's more common now too that the mini bars have been removed from the hotel rooms. And there's also impacts to reception, concierge, and porterage as well. So there may not be, 24/7 services. If you've got clients that have any mobility issues and you think they're going to, struggle with carrying their suitcase and things like that, please make sure that we're aware at time of quoting so that we can point you in the right direction of what more suitable property. Like there's no point us putting them in a property in Queenstown where we know there's going to be a lot of stairs and the porter doesn't work 7 days a week. So really important that we know those things at the start now so we can just make sure that your clients are staying somewhere suitable. Also around the concierge, there's a shortage everywhere. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. It's in Australia, it's New Zealand, it's worldwide. In New Zealand, they are starting to get more backpackers come in that are taking up some of these jobs, particularly in concierge. But I do want to point out that a backpacker from Brazil that's been in Auckland for a week is not going to know the best 5 restaurants for your client to go to. So if you know that you've got a client that wants that type of information when they travel, reach out to our res team and we're happy to act as that concierge before they travel. But just make the client aware that they are probably not going to get that same level currently. The other thing to keep in mind too is car parking in the city hotels. It's now standard that the hotels charge for car parking if you're staying downtown. And that's whether it's Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, Queenstown, it's really common. The pricing set by the hotels, and in most cases, it can't be pre-booked. And I've noticed traveling around Australia that it's standard in Australia now too. The other thing it's really important to note is that clients really need to pre-book excursions. So pre-COVID, clients could kind of, book the car, book the accommodation, and then everything else once they were there. Now they really need to be pre-booking those excursions so that they don't miss out. I just want to touch quickly on what's new. We've just released our Australia brochure. This is available at TIFFs. Again, like our New Zealand book, it includes a lot of information in there to help making sail the destination easy. And in August, we'll be launching our Australia and New Zealand luxury brochure, which will focus on the luxury lodges. We've got a few specials out at the moment, which are still valid to the end of the month. So we've got a Aussie motorhome stay, so 20% off and no one-way fee. This is for pickups from Darwin and Alice Springs and then returning to the eastern seaboard. We've got a fantastic 10-day Kimberley fishing journey that we've put together. So if you've got any guys that like doing fishing, it's a fantastic special. Again, these are all available on the deals page on the website. We've got our Lord Howe Island early bird special. This is staying at Arugilla Retreat and it includes return economy airfares with Qantas from the eastern seaboard. And then a reminder too that the Southern Ocean Lodge is reopening on the 6th of December and you can now start taking reservations for this product. So this is something that we sell. It's in Connect. We've got live availability with the resort and we've got some fantastic specials in there. So how to do a quote or how to book with Anzcro, you've got 3 ways. The first is through Anzcro Connect. So again, if you feel comfortable quoting the destination, you can log on online and do that quote yourself. And then if you want to turn it into a booking, request to convert. Before we convert it, we will just check over to make sure that everything looks okay. If you need something, kind of immediately, you've got a client after a quote in a hurry, then you can call our reservations team Monday to Friday and they will do a quote over the phone. Last week, those hold times ranged from about 5 to 9 minutes. So they're not too bad at the moment. Or if you're not in a hurry, you don't want to call up, then you can email our reservations team as well. Please give them as much information as possible so that they can do, the best quote for you. Even things about, the type of things that your client likes seeing or doing when they're traveling, and then they can make some really good recommendations for you. You're welcome to join our travel agent community. So we've got our Anzcro Facebook page. We pop a lot of our specials up there. We've also got our private agents Facebook group as well. So if we're doing events around the country, if we've got any agent incentives, we do tend to put them in the agents Facebook group. And then of course we've got our weekly EDM as well, which you're welcome to sign up to. So great, thank you. And Amanda, do you have any questions for me?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kylie. So our first question is the Spirit of Tasmania available?
Oh, that's a good question. I will have to double check that one and get back to you guys. We do like a lot of the, I know we do all the trains. I'll have to check that one. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Perfect. When you learn that, then I can post it to our group page so everyone can know.
Thank you.
Next question. Okay. I can put that email in chat so you guys can have that. Next question is, I don't know if I missed this, but do you have any social media tools I can use for marketing?
Yes, absolutely. So on our website, so www.anzcro.com.au, we've got the deals page. And on the deals page, we've got lots of different destinations on there, lots of different styles of touring. And if you click on them, every single package and itinerary we've got has a flyer and has a social media tile. And you can go on and access that at any time and share whatever you would like. The
Next.
other thing is
Oh,
too.
okay.
Oh,
Go
so I
ahead.
was just going to say, if you're in the Facebook group as well, then you can share content from that as well. So we tend to put a lot of stuff on that as well. So sometimes people just want to share from Facebook. It's easier, but yeah. So either channels you're welcome to use, and you can access anything.
Perfect. Next question is Anzcro Connect on anzcro.com or is it an anzcro.com.au website?
Anzcro.com.au, that is for our Australian based agents. And so that's all the product that's in Australian dollars. So any of the Archer Travel agents that are based in Australia need to be using anzcro.com.au.
Perfect. Thank you. Next question is, do you offer any trainings or a certification program where I can learn more?
More about the destinations or more about Anzcro Connect?
Well, I
If
just
it's about the destination, then we don't run a certification program, but Tourism New Zealand does. So they do a fantastic program for agents where you can do training modules. And so I'd really recommend that you go and check out Tourism New Zealand. They also have an Agent for Mill program as well. And then Tourism Australia also does an Aussie specialist program as well. So if you're wanting a certification, that would come from the two tourism bodies. If you want a training on Anzcro Connect and how to use the system, then I'm happy to do a one-on-one training, and you'll just need to email me so that we can find a suitable date.
Oh, can you go back to the slide with the EDM email, please? Someone was
Ah,
asking.
yes. That one? So that's
Yes.
just marketing at Anzcro. If you email them, they'll add you to the EDM.
Perfect. Okay. I also wanted to put that in chat because a couple of people were asking for it. But I think Jen beat me to it. Okay, perfect. Next question is, do you offer any groups?
Yes, so we've got a dedicated groups department, which is groups at anzcro.com.au. Now that's for FIT groups. So that's where, say you've had someone come to you and they've got 10 plus travelers that want to travel, and then we'll create a special itinerary for them depending on what they want. So we do all sorts of groups. We do school groups, sporting groups. We've done agricultural groups. Any type of group that wants to go to New Zealand, we've done it in some shape or form in the last 30 years. Now, if you mean groups in the sense that I've got a client traveling that doesn't want to travel by themselves, they want to join a group, then we do sell New Zealand coach tours. We do Kira tours and Grand Pacific tours. So they can join a coach tour. So that's I suppose the two different group options. Yeah.
Perfect. Next one was a comment/question. Someone said, Tourism Australia doesn't allow Australian-based agents to access the Aussie specialist training. Would you recommend anyone else, or do you know of anything else?
Um, that's surprising because we've got staff in the office going through it at the moment. So that's
So maybe they changed it over time.
maybe, but we've got staff that've been doing it. And a lot of the actual tourism boards, like so each STOs, they all tend to do training as well. So maybe if there's a particular region in Australia you want more training on, reach out to that local STO because most of them have modules and training that you can do.
Perfect. Okay, and I know
Yeah.
that you had said something we talked about earlier, that you offer possible one-on-one training.
Yeah, so if anyone wants more information on Anzcro Connect and maybe you've gone online, you're not quite sure how to use it, then I'm happy to do that. You just need to email me and we can arrange a time.
Perfect. So if you guys want to do one-on-one training with Kylie, you can just email her. I put her email in chat, and she would more than happy train you on Anzcro Connect online. So I wanted to make sure you guys all heard that, because I know some of you might jump on that opportunity. So that's our last question, Kylie.
Oh,
Um,
great.
yeah, great. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you would like to say before we close out?
Um, Look, I would really recommend that everyone sign up to Connect and really recommend that you do join the agent Facebook group, particularly just to keep updated on events that we're doing. We've been doing a lot of road shows the last couple of months, and I know we've got quite a few coming up where I'm working with other suppliers and we're actually doing trade shows in regional areas so that agents can come and hear a little bit more about our products. So all that kind of goes onto that Facebook group. So yeah, I'd really encourage you to join up so that you're not potentially missing out on local opportunities.
Perfect. So I hope you guys didn't miss that. There are a lot of local opportunities for you guys, so make sure you check those out on that Facebook group and page. Perfect. So that's it. So if you guys would like to watch this recording, you can find it right here in the videos tab of this page. If you have any more questions, you have the emails from today that are put in chat now. And thank you so much, Kylie, for joining us. We are so happy to have you. And I know the agents learned a lot, and a lot of these people in chat are saying would love to attend these road shows. This training was amazing. Thank you so much. So just thank you again, Kylie, and thank you everyone for
Oh,
joining us.
yeah, no, thank you so much, Amanda. It was my pleasure. And as I said, if anyone has any more questions, reach out. I'm happy to chat with them. So thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for your time this morning.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.